Happy Taco Tuesday, everyone. Welcome back. We've got weighted dips as well as reverse grip Penley row. I woke up relatively early, not too bad. I think it was about 6 o'clock or something like that. So earlier than usual, but I am trying to get to the gym more so in the morning rather than the afternoon. And today I was able to start moving around. I think it was around 6:30, something like that. I started moving around and got ready and basically got to the gym, and I decided I wanted to include a cardio warm-up, so I went with the Crossramp as my choice for a half mile, which took 6 minutes and 20 seconds. From there I went over to the dip station, and honestly I could have started with rows too, but since I did that last time I wanted to do dips for today, and I could do either one first. With these two specific exercises paired together, I could honestly start with either, but I wanted to use dips this time around. So I began with a set of 10 with just body weight, then a set of 8 with 25 pounds, and here you're seeing the 10 by 5 with 52.5 pounds. 90 seconds of rest in between sets, and honestly, it was just a good dip day. It was a good day in general. It was a good day for both exercises. But for dips, good stuff. I'm happy with the range of motion. I'm happy with the control. I'm happy with just the overall activation. So really no complaints at all. Everything felt pretty good. Everything was completely where I wanted it to be in terms of not only engagement of my upper body, but also just the tempo. Not that I'm really going for any specific cadence or rhythm. I just wanted to slow things down a little bit and just get a little bit more out, especially through the eccentric, so the second phase of the exercise. And just for the sake of it, there's really no rhyme or reason other than just to get a little bit more out of the exercise while I'm still using a very manageable weight. Now, for the accessory, I decided to go with a reverse grip pushdown, which is something I have not done in a very, very long time. Commonly and really typically, you'll see a pushdown done with a pronated grip where the palms are facing down or facing the floor, whether it's with a straight bar, a V bar, a cambered bar, a rope, things like that. The rope starts neutral, and then most people do this, not everybody, but most people will spread the rope out towards the sides, ending up in a pronated position. But those are the main ways that you'll see pushdowns done. Very seldomly will you see a reverse grip, and I decided to use it today, and I went very light, very, very light. So I started off with a set of 8 with 40 pounds just to feel the exercise out again, since it's been probably years, and then went to 50 pounds for 8. Still didn't think it was quite enough, so then I got to 60 pounds for 8, and I thought, okay, that's good for today since it's the first day back. And then I used that as my first working weight. And then for my second one, I used 65 pounds. And then on the top set, I used 70 pounds. And of course, that's for the 3 by 8. So 3 sets of 8 using progressive sets in terms of the resistance. And that's pretty much that. Oh, and I'd like to give a shout out to the woman in the background doing dips right now. Funny enough, we did dips together. But I think I've seen her a few times before, and she was there today. She was doing, I think, a cardio warm-up on the treadmill, if I remember correctly, and then headed over to a bench and just started doing really good exercises. Nothing fancy, nothing out of the ordinary. They were very much conventional exercises, just like how I like to do things. And so I just want to point that out just because she was doing really good using good form, good technique. And so she did, I think, also overhead presses. I think she did those seated, if I'm not mistaken. She did a curl of some sort. I couldn't even tell you if it was a hammer curl, maybe a hammer curl. And she was just doing really good exercises. I think she did flat dumbbell bench press. And again, good form, good technique. I'm going to point that out because it's deserved, and I just like seeing women train hard and train correctly and train well. It's just a really nice thing to see. So big shout out to her. I hope she's proud of herself. She ought to be. And so hopefully she enjoys her workouts and is just reaping the benefits because she's doing good stuff. Alright, here we've got set 9 for dips. And you may have noticed that the editing points are different throughout the dip sets. That was done on purpose, and that was done at the last second. So I just thought, okay, instead of using the same starting point and being as uniformed and as consistent in terms of using the same starting point for editing, why not just change it up a bit, just have some fun, just make it a little bit more hopefully entertaining. Oh, and speaking of entertaining, look at that. What you saw was me hitting the record button and then not seeing the red light show up, so then I turned back around just to make sure that it started recording, and of course it was, but I just had to double check. But I did want to show just different starting points for the exercise. So some you saw me on the dip station and just kind of going up into the first rep. Some you saw me approach the dip station, and some you even saw me load the dip belt before getting into the set. Hopefully that's a little bit more fun to watch, maybe a little bit more entertaining, or just more engaging, or you get to see a little bit more of the exercise. Who knows? Let me know if that even made a difference at all. Alright, now we've got reverse grip Penley row. So basically what I did was a warm-up set of 10 with 135, then a set of 8 with 185, and here we have the 10x5 with 200 pounds, 90 seconds of rest in between sets, and it was a good day for rows. It was a good day for pretty much all exercises, but most notably the two main lifts, they went quite well. So that tells me a couple things. It tells me, one, that they were good choices, and two, that I picked good, appropriate starting weights when I began the program. So that's a good thing. And the only real challenging day so far has just been the lower body day, but that's honestly to be expected. I'm not going ultra heavy on either exercise, but since I am doing them back to back in the same day, that makes for a tough workout. So I'm not really worried about that. I'm going into those days fully aware that they're going to be fun, and I'll say that with quotation marks. But otherwise, especially for the upper body days, everything's going very well. So I'm actually quite pleased with that. And with the reverse grip Penley row, no different. It didn't feel like I was really having to exert all that much, really. So I'm happy about that. Good, nice start with the back, and then finishing things off with the biceps as I pulled the bar not only towards the abdomen, but really getting it through the abdomen. And that's an important concept whenever you're doing this exercise. It's meant to be done explosively. This is not a controlled row. It's a very different way of approaching a back exercise, and it's very helpful with not only activating type 2 fast twitch muscle fibers, but putting a power aspect to it. So we're not slowing things down. We're not doing a controlled, let's say, bent over row from a hang position. This is done from the floor, and this is meant to be done fast, and it is purposely being slightly controlled on the way down. So for most people, they'll probably look at that and think that I'm just dropping the bar. Believe it or not, there is a degree of control. Not complete control, I won't say that, but that is under control. And for a concentric base exercise, then this is what it should look like. So if somebody looks at that and says, well, you shouldn't drop the bar, if I was doing another version of rowing, yes. Or even, let's say, the most common way of rowing, I would agree. For this very specific lift, no. You do not want to lower that weight down slower than you really need to, but you do want to have a handle on the bar and be under some control. And so for the accessory, I went with a cable curl with a straight bar, set of 8 with 50 pounds, and then 8 with 60, 65, and 70. All right, y'all, adopt, don't chop.